Welcome to watching Caledonian Cables tutorials. In this tutorial, we will focus on fire resistant and flame retardant cables. Flame retardant cables are designed for using in fire situations, where the spread of flames along a cable route needs to be retarded. Fire resistant cables are designed to maintain circuit integrity of SUS, vital emergency services during the fire. For flame retardant cables, we have two series of catalog. FireGuard is PVC sheaths, while FireTox is LSCH sheaths. Generally, flame retardant sheath material is enough. If required grade is high, an extra flame retardant tape would be added. For fire-resistant cables, we only use LSCH sheaths because of its good property. Fire-resistant and flame retardant cables are two wide categories. They can involve many kinds of cables, such as power and control cables, instrumentation cables, data cables, coaxial cables, fiber optic cables, and etc. Let's discuss the different construction between flame retardant and fire resistant cables. The picture above is flame retardant cable with copper conductor, XLPE insulation, and LSCH sheaths, while the picture below is fire resistant cable. The only difference is that there is a mica glass tape between conductor and insulation. Instrumentation cable is to transmit analog or digital signal, so the size of its conductor is small, no larger than 2.5 square millimeter. Here we can see two choices of resisting fire. The first is adding mica glass tape between conductor and insulation, while the second one is using silicone rubber as insulation instead of mica glass tape plus XLPE insulation. Here we can summarize some common design for fire-resistant cables. The first one is to use mica glass tape between conductor and insulation. In this case, if conductor is too thin to add mica, then we can add mica after insulation. The second one is using silicone rubber as insulation. This design is usually for small conductor size because of the high cost of silicone rubber. The third one is to add mica glass tape plus silicone rubber. This is double fire resistant design used for high degree fire resistant requirements. Caledonian cables can provide special design to meet customers' different requirements. As we know, cable is made as per standard. For the property of flame retardant and fire resistant, there are also different standards for different grades. Flame retardant test consists of two modes, EN 60332-1-2 or IEC 60332-1-2 is for vertical single cable test. EN 60332-3 or IEC 60332-3 is for bunched cable test. Undoubtedly, non-metallic, such as insulation and sheaths, is easily get burned. Bunched cables contain more non-metallic material, so they are more difficult to pass the test than single cable. We can see the picture that shows the test for single cable. The test time is dependent on the cable diameter, as we can see from the table in the right upper corner. After burning, the distance of charring should be within the data that is stipulated in this standard. You can learn more through reading the standard content. For bunched cable test, there are three categories with different quantity of non-metallic material and different time. Through the table, we can see category A, which is EN 60332-3-22 or IEC 60332-3-22 is the highest level for flame retardant test. Then we come to fire resistant test standards. As we talked in the beginning, circuit integrity is the essential point for fire-resistant cables. Therefore, if the cable can still work as normal after test, it is considered to pass. Test always consists of fire test, water spray test, and mechanical shock test. It varies according to the standards. Here, I summarize popular standards for testing circuit integrity with test items and time. The following page are brief introduction for each standard. Now, let's discuss the first standard, IEC 60331-21. As we see from the picture, a cable sample of 1.2 meter in length is placed over a gas burner and connected to an electrical supply at its rated voltage. Fire is applied for a period of 90 minutes. Later, the cable sample is re-energized and must maintain its circuit integrity. This is an ordinary test for fire resistance. Then we talk about more strict standard called BS6387 CWZ. It consists of three parts of test, which are fire, water, and mechanical shock. So we will hear BS6387 CWZ frequently in the future because it is almost the strictest test for fire resistance. The most assertive certification for fire-resistant cables is LPCB. Now we are applying for it. We already have many test reports for fire-resistant cables. We can provide test report with the nearest construction as required by our customers. I want to draw your attention to the difference between certification and test report. They all are issued by third party. Test report is to test a designated quantity of sample on which shows concrete conductor size. For example, BS8573 copper conductor, XLP insulation, and LSC8 sheaths, 3C1.5. Certification is for a series of kind of cable and also need factory inspection. For example, BS8573 copper conductor, XLP insulation, LSC8 sheaths, all single core and multi-core cables. Fire-resistant cables are absolutely our leading products. To know more, welcome to visit our website. Thank you.